Good morning, one and all present here. Myself, time of crisis. All this stress of COVID-19, we all have something in common beyond this, and that essentially is the apprehension regarding the future prospects in terms of placements. There are several doubts, queries, and worries around this. And not only during these times, in fact, at all times, the major challenge that students face during their pursuance of respective program is campus placements. How to crack it, what are the challenges, and what kind of preparations are needed for this. To discuss this, we have two of our students who got selected for the campus placements. So first of all, I welcome our Honorable President Dr. Rajesh Kothari sir.
Thank you, Arunji.
Sir, once again we welcome you and need your blessings session. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's always there, and I always stand by the good words and the good work that you're going to do, and you're continuing this one. In fact, for the last 3-4 months, Equite Tech under your leadership could able to do major webinar and could able to connect more than 1,000 students and the practitioners, etc. I indeed congratulate you for the hard work that you're putting in to see that your Equite Tech turns out to be the number one and most sought after one, despite number of challenges one. Now, today conversation on placement and how to correct placement, and you very rightly pointed out the ill impact of pandemic on placement that we cannot deny. We cannot deny on two accounts. Number one, the job market is not as rosy, as vibrant as it was pre-pandemic one. See, placement is result of economic activity. When economic activity is sluggish, no matter how good or bad we are, doesn't make a difference so our placement is concerned, because placement will not come forth. I repeat, placement is, you can say, the resultant factor of demand, supply, market, sales, profit, etc. One. In fact, it reflects, more number of placement reflects there is need of more hands to perform the task. Because of pandemic, my apprehension is this time there may not be lavish jobs available. One, companies have gone in for cost cutting, companies have gone for rescheduling, they have gone for re-engineering. Accordingly, number of jobs offered will be reduced. However, it doesn't mean that there are no jobs available. Yes, jobs are available, but the shape and size and dimension would change. Most of company, if I share with you, most of company are now vacating their costly office premises, and they are making employees to work from home. So the new culture which is coming up very fast is that you start working from home for the organizations, and it might not be a surprise that you may not know who is your colleagues, right? You may not meet him physically, you may not see him, yet you're working together. So in pandemic, the two things have taken place. A, there is redefinition of job market, and B, role playing has changed drastically. One. We are not talking about a specific job. We are talking about rotational job. We are talking about generalist job. So, so the jobs are available only those who deserve it. Unlike, see, in case of buoyancy, in case of bullishness, even if less qualification will also get a job. But when market is dull, there is sluggish market. The best of the best qualities and the best of best qualified will get a job, but with pinch of salt. He may compromise on salary. He may have to compromise on the package, locations, type of role that he's supposed to do. However, when pandemic is there, you cannot be choosers. Whatever you get it, accept it, and till the pandemic is over, the job market start looking up, stick to it. Sometimes we feel the job that we are going to handle is not up to our expectations, not up to our qualifications, not up to our aptitude, interest. Agreed. But then you also remember, we do not get all that we desire in the life, right? Our expectations may not be so important as expectations of your employer because he controls resources. Because he controls resources. And those who control resources, they command the shot in the market one. We at the receiving end, we at the receiving end have to accept what company has to offer to us. So I'll say you don't have to bow down, you don't have to feel alienated, nor do you have to feel out. Whatever job you get it, stick to it, see what ways you can do. In fact, instead of asking job to enrich you, you enrich yourself to perform the task which may be of your choice, which may not be of your choice. The job market is indeed very tough, very demanding, and therefore I call all upon you, please improve our two things. Besides technical qualifications, improve the skill that says you are good at group behavior, right? And number two, you must be good at the culture which is coming very fast, work from home. Therefore, good command on communication, good command on computers, oblique language, oblique system, oblique IT, that you should harness and furnish, right? And third is, trust me, trust me, hold on yourself when things are not in your favor. I always say, I always say one thing, this too shall pass. यह दिन भी नहीं रहेगा. And therefore, don't give up, fight back, you deserve the best, wait for the best, and you will get the best one. Thank you, Arunji. That's all from my side. And I tell you, ICFA University is indeed proud to have almost 100% placement, be it MBA, be it tech programs one. Thanks to your leadership, good wishes to all students, all aspirant one, and more session we can hold it to improvise their placement scenario one. Thank you. Take good care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the nice words. Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Dr. S.L. Jain, sir, to bless the occasion. Sir.
Thank you, Arunji. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the webinar organized for the placement of the individual. We are proud to have these two students who have been very nicely placed with a very good package. As said by Professor Kothari, that the pandemic situation has created a lot of havoc in the system. The economy is very sluggish, the placements are very less, so you have to compete with your skills and your knowledge. You should have faith in the teachers, you should have faith in yourself, you should prepare yourself for the better skills, and do not let the chance to go. Wherever you find a chance, you accept it, you take it, and soon you prove yourself in the market, and then you can get the placement of your choice. But this is the time, whenever you are getting any chance for the placement, you take it. Otherwise, you can find yourself in the entrepreneurship also. If you are willing to do, then you can also enter into the entrepreneurship market and can do or can think of some startup in your mind. So I want to tell you that the teachers of the ICFA University are providing very good knowledge, very good competition among the students, preparing them for the interviews, but ultimately you have to prove yourself. Teachers can guide you, teachers can teach you, but at the time of the interview, you have to face yourself and you have to prove yourself. When you will prove yourself, then you can get the required job to which you are interested in, and you can get that particular job. So I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And these are the two icons who have got very good placement with the help of the Manish Saxena as well as Arun Saini and every faculty member, including the Vice Chancellor of the university. Thank you very much. Keep doing, keep going, and place yourself very nicely. That will bring the name of the university as well as yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now we have with us Mr. Abhishek Yadav, Mr. Kshitij Pandey, and Mr. Manish Saxena, who is our placement manager. Maniji, we welcome you in our talk show. I think first time you are joining. So now I request. Good morning. Yeah. So सबसे पहले मैं request करूँगा अभिषेक please briefly introduce yourself. I can also do that, but it will be better if you can introduce. Abhishek is our alumni and Kshitij is our existing final year BSc honors student. Abhishek. Abhishek, you are not audible. Kshitij, you may start now.
Okay, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, so first of all, good morning to all of you. My name is Kshitij Pandey, and to briefly introduce myself, I'm an enthusiastic student of physics with special interest in theoretical physics and cosmology. And I also love science communication, and I'm also the member of international science community. So my hobby is basically everything related to science and its communication and about its research. I want to work in the field of dark matter and neutrino physics, and that is how I explain. That is how I introduce myself. Like, I'm very much into physics, so I only talk about these things only.
Abhishek. Abhishek, please unmute yourself. Abhishek, please unmute. Abhishek, your voice is not.
Hello. Am I audible right now, sir? Hello. Am I audible, sir, right now?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Okay. Good morning, sir. And hi, Kshitij. And good morning to all of you. My name is Abhishek. And basically, previously I have worked with Byju's, currently working in Noida as a business development executive in a IT firm. And Manish, sir, can I start with the session?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I want to, yeah. So basically, I just want to start with the beginning, like those students who are in final year or they are in first or second year, whatever they like in which year they are. First of all, they need to decide the interest of the domain in which area they are interested. That is very important because like if you are interested in tech field and you are just going into sales by seeing the patches, like I will not appreciate your decision for that because you have to decide like which domain you are preferring and you have to go for that only. The very first point, like according to me. And the second like point will be like you have to prepare yourself for the same, because like right now the job scenario is not as good as you all know, right? So you have to prepare for the same, and you have to prepare like like at a very good level, because like whether it is a campus placement, whether it is a off campus like placement, you have to prove your skills within the within the community. And like talking about the most of the people who are in college right now, like faculties like which we are having, they are one of the best in terms of quality education. And also third point which I'll discuss, you have to work on your aptitude and your communication, because these two things like they will give you a chance to represent yourself like within any interview, right? Because these are the very basic three things, or you can say the eligibility of that, right? The 4 point I'll discuss, you have to be on LinkedIn, right? You have to generate a good links, try to connect with as much as possible with the HRs of the company, like your target companies, which like in which you're want to work on. And like if you are in the year from like first year, second year, or third year, then definitely you should focus on internship in a good company. And how you can get these internships? Simply you have to be on like different social platforms. You can there are many platforms, right, through which you will get knowledge where the vacancy is and how you can enroll yourself for the same. I think Kshitij has done many internships, and even I also. So, and also you have to take real intensive, not just the certificates, because certificate will contribute nothing, right? Because whatever they'll ask, like in interview, that will be your real knowledge, right? So you have to prove yourself, like whether you know something, your worth is something, right? And the 6 point, which I'll like discuss, you have to participate in college events, right? That is very, like you will, you will learn a lot of things if you are participating in the college events. If you are managing events, you are contributing something, definitely you are going to generate a good skill set in within yourself, right? And seventh and the last point is you have to boost your CV, that is resume. You have to keep on adding values to your CV, because CV is something like which is the very first impression of yours in front of like everyone. Like if you'll talk about a particular HR, right? The very first person who will scan your resume. So you have to add value to your CV. And again, I just remind you, you have to define which in which the area of interest, and that is very crucial thing. And right now the job scenario is not good, and if you even want to if we talk about a very good package, right? So you have to work on that, you have to work on your skills. You can take different tests, like if you want to go in IT domain, like there are several tests, like litmus is there and MCAT is there. You can give tests of these particular things. And also those students who are in final year right now, if like they are planning to go for like some courses like post graduation courses, they can also opt for that, because right now job scenario, it's like as you know, it's somewhat affected by COVID-19 and something. So but definitely jobs are there in the market, but for the deserving one, right? So that is all from my side. Thank you. Kshitij, I think you can go ahead.
Okay, so I think almost everything was covered by
Please.
Abhishek sir. I would first of all like to start from his 6th point, where he said that taking part in the college events is very necessary. So this point would be regarding for the students who are mostly in first year or second year, or for the BTech students who are in third year, who have time for their placement seasons. So why I want to focus on these things? Well, first of all, let me give you my example. I didn't prepare anything for the placement thing. In fact, 1 year ago, I was not even thinking that I'm going to sit for the campus placement. But then I got the mail from the Manish sir, and I saw that BSc students were eligible. So I thought that like let's give it a shot. So what I did, that I created my resume, and then on the template given by Manish sir, and then I set for the campus placement, and fortunately I got selected. But how? Like many people were asking me that without any such preparation, how you got selected? So I want to say that the sixth point which Abhishek sir said, that taking part in college event is very necessary. The reason behind this is that whenever you are taking part in something and whenever you are organizing something, there is a skill in you which enhances, like the leadership skill or the skills which is very necessary for the corporate world. And like many people know that from the my freshman year only, I was taking part in many events, like not only in the university but also from outside of the university, and which has helped me a lot, because whenever I'm going outside of my university or taking part in it, what happens that it enhances my skills, it enhances my communication skills, my skills to deal with the people, and many other hardworking skills. Fortunately, the faculties are very supportive in ICFI Tech, because whenever I was going outside for any event, they were very helpful regarding all of my exams and all those things. They were, very supportive with these things, and I feel myself very lucky regarding this. Also, Abhishek sir covered that communication is very important. So you must have to work on your communication skill, because whenever you are going to sit on in any campus placement or anything, the first thing which they are going to observe, that how is your communication skill. Like I don't have much experience for the campus placement. I have sat only for two placement training cell, but out of those two experience, I can definitely say that my selection was mainly based on my communication skills and my analytical thinking, and these things are very important. So like my major point was, you have to be extremely hardworking, because if you are not doing hard work, then you cannot expect good things. As I said earlier, many people were asking me that how without any preparation you got selected, but what they don't see, that I was doing my hard work from my freshman year, not for the placement but for the other things. And because of that hard work, that refined the other skills which is inside me. For example, I'm very much into oratory skills, and as I said in my introduction, that I'm also very much into science communication. And because of that science communication and oratory skills parts, that has developed a kind of thing in me, which allows me to deal with people very easily. So when I was in the interview, I was not at all afraid, because I was talking to the interviewer like he was my friend or something. So you have to be extremely confident. Communication is very important, and I think most of the things are covered by Abhishek sir. So I will hand over it to Manish sir.
Yes, Abhishek. Yeah, he's rightly said that for any process, for any interview process, the very first thing which is important is the communication skills. Because in each and every company, they have the first round, that is the group discussion. So until and unless you have a good communication, you cannot crack the group discussion. So I will advise all the students. The very first thing is, first gather the knowledge. You should have knowledge, then only you can speak. And secondly is the good communication skill. You are able to express your views during the group discussion. Then only you will be able to crack the GD. And for the personal interview, definitely you require a good academic knowledge. You should be strong in your domain knowledge. Secondly, is the general knowledge. You should read newspaper, magazines, everything daily, so that you must be aware about the current affairs, right? And the third thing is your attitude, your aim and goal. What is your career objective? You should be clear on that. So this is the basic key for success. So I think you all have to work on the same. So anything Abhishek would like to contribute? Abhishek?
Yes, a few more things. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So basically, I'll discuss some of my experience. Like when I was in like the college, so like I usually spend my time like in the intensive. So just try to avoid wasting your times into non-fruitful things. Right? There are a lot of them. Like there are a lot of things you can invest your time in. But the thing is, you have to like choose things very wisely. Where you like, if you're investing your time somewhere, then definitely some output should be there, right? Then only you have to invest, because these 4 years will define your like your lifetime. Like so where you will be, and like how you will be managing your life and everything. So you like each and every second, or you can say minutes, it's very precious. So you have to be very wise in that, like where you are investing, like investing your time. And always keep on growing, always keep adding like values to you, because if you are worth something, definitely there are many people who will find you and they will give you like what you deserve, right? And like if you are giving interviews and if you are not selecting into any interviews, don't demotivate, because that is the like, cycle, right? Because I have also like given many interviews, more than I think 30 to 40, and I am not selected in like every interview. I was selected in like hardly 10 to 15 interviews, right? Because in sometimes I used to like eliminated in the very first round, like that is GD, because my communication was not up to that mark, right? So that doesn't mean like we cannot improve. So chances of improvement is always there, right? You have to recognize your weakness and you have to work on that, right? So you need to generate some resources around you. You need to find some resources where you can generate these kind of skills and how you can add values. If you are from tech domain, if you want to make your career into like right now the booming like industries are, you can observe like data science and something. You need to know from like the sources where where you can get knowledge. You can add some professional certificates to your CV, and you can find out the companies where these people are recruiting, and you can contact these people, right? So always try to like, if you are like I'll just give one message to the fourth year students who are right now they are looking for placement or something. Like try to invest your time approx 10 like if you are working approx 8 to 10 hours, then approx give 1 hour in searching like jobs across the different you can say sources, and never settle with only one or two options. Try to make many options so that out of many you can choose the best for you, right? The best thing, right? Don't just choose whatever you're getting, right? So always try to option बनाने की कोशिश करिए, like that will be very beneficial for your future. And as soon as the the thing will pass, the COVID-19 things will be very normal, and definitely you will see a lot of like huge demand of jobs and everything. Thank you. That is, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I would like to add one more thing. See, most I've seen in the during the campus drive, most of the youngsters, they are looking forward only for the package. They look at the package only. So my sincere advice to all the student is, the very first thing which is important for any student is the profile, right? So what exactly is your career objective, and that the profile that company is offering is matching your objective is not or not. That is more important than the package. Of course package is important, but I guess the very first thing, the important thing is the profile, the what kind of job role the company is offering. And secondly is the brand name. Definitely, what kind of company is this, and what kind of career path company is giving to you. And the third thing can be a package. So my sincere advice to all the student is, firstly, your preference should be the number one, the profile. Second should be the company, and third should can be a salary or location or anything else, right? So anything else, Shitish, can you share your experience?
Yeah, sure, sir. Before sharing my experience, I would like to add some point regarding using LinkedIn. So, as Abhishek sir said, that using LinkedIn is very important in for today's scenario. But how are you going to use it? One of the best thing you can do while using LinkedIn is to update about your work and the recent activities and the news related to your field of interest. Because if you are doing this and a recruiter is watching your profile, they will get to know that you are very up to date regarding these things. So whoever are using LinkedIn, my sincere advice would be to be very active and update your insights and the insight about your field on the LinkedIn, and that is going to help you a lot. Regarding my personal experience, so as the Abhishek sir said that you have to do fruitful things, and I totally agree with it. Like, I have seen so many students that they are always wasting so much of their time, and that is totally not good for them. Like, I know many of you who are watching this right now, they are like binge watchers. They like to watch series and animes a lot, like hours and hours for a day. And it's very fun to do so. Like, I have also done that. But you have to keep the thing in mind that is it going to help you in the future, or what is more beneficial for you? Like whenever you are investing your time into something, you have to make sure that it is going to benefit you in the future. So okay, watching series and animes and movies are very good, and you have to do this, but you have to make sure that it is just to just to I should say that you should not watch this as the main thing. Like you should not keep it as a priority, but rather you should focus on your skills and all those things. There are plenty of courses on online. Like if you are from tech field or from any other field, you can find plenty of courses from Coursera, Udemy, and there are a lot of other things. YouTube is the best source. It has all the courses available for free, so you can visit there anytime. So what I want to say that you have to be extremely hardworking, because without hard work you cannot expect good things. It is your hard work which is going to make you achieve good things in your life. So hard work is very necessary, and you have to be very ambitious too. Hard work without any ambition will not going to be very fruitful. You have to have some aim that you want to achieve this and this thing, so that you can work towards achieving that goal. And that is why creating an aim, you have to be ambitious, and you have to be extremely hard work also. And mentor is very much required. So like Manish sir is a very good mentor. Whenever I was having some problem regarding the placement, whether I should join the company or not, I visited his cabin, and he's a very good counselor. And like that, we have so many faculties in Equitech. Like whenever I faced problem related to my research paper and all those things, I used to visit Rana sir's cabin, and he guided me a lot. So I want to say that you always should rely on a mentor, because you cannot do everything on your own, and that is why a mentor is very, very much necessary. And you should never think that you can do anything on your own. So first thing, you have to be extremely hardworking. Second, you should not waste your time. And third thing, you should have a mentor. I think if you follow these three things, then you can do fruitful things. And that's it from my side.
One thing I would like to add, like Kshitij has told about the LinkedIn. So there is one option in Facebook and LinkedIn also. There are a lot job opportunities. So join these groups. LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, there are a lot of engineering group also, a lot of scientific group also, a lot of HR groups also. So you have to join these groups, and definitely you will gain some knowledge also. Secondly, it will help you in getting the job opportunities also, right? So another thing, at this moment, most of the students who are still pursuing their course, they are thinking that getting a job is a difficult thing. But I will tell you, the retaining a job is more difficult than the getting the job, right? So you have to work very hard, because interviewer used to take 10 to 15 minutes of interview. He cannot judge everything. So after joining, retaining a job is a very difficult thing. So you have, the only thing which can give you success is the hard work, like Kshitij said. So you have to work very hard. Then only you will be able to achieve your career goals. Anything Abhishek would like to add? Abhishek?
So these are the basic things. I think, we have a lot of things to discuss, but out of a lot of things, we have discussed the very important things. Like Manish sir has already conveyed each and every important aspect. But the thing is, faculty and the campus is very good, but simply they have proved their part. Right now, that is your turn. How to turn that possibility into some results, and तो बेसिकली आपको कुछ चीजें फोकस करनी होती हैं, जैसा लाइक सर ने, मनीष सर ने बोला एंड क्षितिज ने बोला एंड आल्सो आई सेड कि सिंपली आपको फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई विल जस्ट रिमाइंड वेरी फ्यू थिंग्स, लाइक प्रोफाइल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? रोल, लाइक योर रोल, आप इस कंपनी में विच at which role you are going to be work on that, right? Which technology you are using and something. It's very important because it's very hard to change after 1 year of experience, after 2 years experience. If you're shifting suppose if you are in sales background and you are moving to a tech background, it's very hard for you because you will be treated as a fresher. Suppose you are getting 6 lakh rupees of package in sales, and आप assume नहीं कर सकते हो कि आपको वो 6 लाख tech में दे देंगे. Like it's not possible at all, right? So you have to choose your profile very wisely because this is the very starting point, right? And like this is a very important message for first year and second year students because they're having like a lot of opportunities right now. They can learn a lot of things because like what is happening, like if like some of my friends, they're also like doing their BTech in very good colleges like IITs and everything. So IITs are not different. Like why these people are getting highest placement? Because due to their whatever they have done like within their curriculum, they used to do internship in a good form. और internship के लिए कोई company campus में नहीं आती है. They will never visit for the internship purpose. Any IIT or any IIM, right? They used to recruit people via some offline methods, like offline, indirect methods, not directly like through the campus placement. So try to avail internships in a very good form. And how you can avail, simply visit their website, make your account on, like sign up there, upload your CV, and as there will be vacancy on this particular companies, you will be notified, right? And try to give interviews as much as possible. If you are like there are many like tier 1 companies like Oracle, Intel, a lot of companies are there. If you make a list of these, approx 20 25 companies are there, right, in which you can do internship, and definitely you will be selected. Like if you are filling the form for these 25 companies, but the thing is you have to generate a very good skill set for that, whether like you are a best fit for them, right? Because first of all your resume will be scanned, then only you will be scanned, right? So आपको अपने like resume को थोड़ा सा boost करना है with the right skill set, and that is very important. And the profile which you are choosing, it's very 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 important point, right? And aptitude and communication are the very two pillars, right? Because these are the two things in many campus placement will be judged, right? Right now all the campus placements, or you can say, things are going on virtually, but the thing is they used to give a link for the aptitude. If you able to qualify that aptitude test, then only you will be interviewed, right? Whether like okay, like you are pro in programming but you are not like good at aptitude, so आप interview ही नहीं दे पाएंगे. So first of all you have to work on your interview like aptitude skills as well. Then communication, if you are in tech background, then communication is not like that much important, but at least you should convey what you know, right? So again I'll just remind this, invest your time in things wisely. I don't like mean to say you have to work 24 hours on some like educated things or something, like in educating yourself, right? So you have to make a balance between your entertainment, between your social life, between your education life, right? And for the especially the fourth year students, I just want to say them a very best of luck, best of luck from my side. And do your best whatever you can, and give your best. Thank you.
Abhishek sir, I think we should share our interview experience also, because before this session, many people have asked me to do so. So I think we should do that.
Okay, definitely. So basically, I'll discuss my interview actually, I'll discuss very first. I was selected in a firm. The first stage was aptitude test. Like you have to qualify the aptitude test. Then as I'm in sales background, so the second round will be with the interviewer, with the HR actually. So they ask me few questions about, like, first of all, the very first question is tell me something about yourself, right? So you have to prepare yourself all the time. They are gonna ask in each and every interview, they'll ask, tell me something about yourself, right? So you have to point out approx 4 to 5 points, and always try to express yourself according to the firm actually, which profile you are going for, right? Suppose if you are going for sales, then at least you have to mention some lines. Okay, so I was interested from my first year itself into sales. Then only I choose. Then only I mold myself into it, right? And you have your introduction should be very brief. You do not have to include a lot of things in that, because he just wants an overview of you, right? Your family, you can tell about your family and everything. And then then they'll ask about your curricular activities. They'll ask like on which project you have worked, and your previous intensive experience if you are not a working professional. And then the third interview will be about the if you are appearing for the startup and something, then definitely founder is going to be your the next interviewer. So he will ask very simple points but very effective points. He will ask about the sales, so you have to as my interview asked about the 4 P's of the sales, right? So product, price, person, place. So you have to know these 4 things. Like if you are good at your product knowledge, then you can sell each and everything to any product and at which place you are selling. So these are very you can say knowledgeable points. You can figure it out on your own, and you can generate this knowledge by reading newspaper, by reading some novels, by reading books. Right. So try to generate more value to you. And about my Byju's experience, so very first round was like aptitude only, so you have to clear that aptitude round. Then they'll be taking a telephonic round. After telephonic round, they'll be taking your video interview first round, then second round. So they'll be asking some questions. They'll be giving you some scenarios that how you will they just want to know how much good decision maker you are, right? Because things are very random, right? You have to choose your decisions very wisely and very you can say which decision is best, which will give you a very good result, right? So these are the things, because I am in sales background, so I'm just telling my experience into sales only. Tech thing, yeah, it's I think different. I have also actually appeared for some of the tech things because I was not able to qualify because the profile is quite different. So in tech actually they are वो आपकी बहुत अच्छे से knowledge लेते हैं, they used to justify you in a very good manner. So you have to be very good at your skills, for these technologies you are applying for. They are going to take each and every small points to be highlighted by them. Yeah, Shatish.
Okay, it was wonderful. Let me share you my experience. So when I was going for the interview, that was my first time for sitting for an interview, and we had to fill a form, and I did some mistake for that. So when the interviewer he shouted at me that why have you filled this form wrong? And that time I reacted very calmly because I knew that he was trying to demotivate me and trying to see whether I can handle the pressure or not. So one thing which I analyzed during the interview, that they are going to demotivate you, they are going to shout on you to check whether you can handle the pressure, whether you can handle the stress at the current moment or not. And luckily I was able to do that. And then as it was in sales interview, he asked me that can you sell me an apple for 5,000 rupees, or can you sell me this glass for this much rupees? And you have to come up with an idea for that, because your analytical and logical mind should be very appear. Luckily I was always very good at extempores, and in extempore you always have to think about things quickly and at the moment. So I had that thing, I can speak on anything if you give me any topic. So luckily that worked for me. But again, if you are not very good at it, so extempore is one of the great way to practice that. You can ask someone to give you a topic, and then you can try to speak on it for a minute, and that will really help you a lot. In fact, I remember during the GD process, what happened that the interviewer was confused about the girl from the MBA. So what he did that he asked her to speak for a 1 minute about life. So it was like an extempore, and whether she was able to speak or not, he was going to select the girl. So your analytical mind or your mindset should be very quick, and you should be able to come up with things. So because of that skill I was able to do that. And as I said earlier, they will try to demotivate you a lot. They will do a lot of things in order to see whether you can handle these things or not. And that's why he shouted on me 1 or 2 times, and then he saw that I was able to handle that pressure very well. Also, he asked me regarding what are the 5 qualities of a salesman. And as I was not from that background, but from the general knowledge and general awareness, I was able to come with the 5 qualities. As soon as I completed my 5 qualities, he said you have to speak now 5 more. Then I came up with 10 qualities. Then he said 5 more. So I told him, sir, I cannot come up with more. This is it. So he said, no, you have to go. So I then came up with the 5 more. Then he said 5 more qualities. So he was then asking me 20 qualities of a salesman, and I was not able to come up with it. So very calmly and very rationally, I said, "Sir, this is all what I can think of, and I don't think I can speak of any more of it." So he was impressed by that, and I remember at last he asked me to sell a cap of pen. So I'm also a very active environmentalist, and I'm also very in many groups which is related to environment, and I know that plastic is very harmful. So based on all of my that experience, I was able to come up with that we should use this, otherwise it will be harmful for the environment and all those things. And he was very impressed by that answer, and I think maybe because of that I got selected in that interview. So that was my experience during that interview. So you have to be very calm, you have to be very confident, and the eye contact is very necessary. Now many people say that during the eye contact they usually forget what they want to say, that like continuous eye contact is kind of strange for them. So there's a trick for you guys. So rather than simply staring at eyes, what you can do, that you can first stare at left eye, then right eye, then left eye, then right eye, and this alternate switch will not make you aware, that will make you conscious that you are continuously watching someone, and you will not forget what's in your head. It is for the people who have problem making eye contact for a long time, because many people have such problem. And I think that's it for my experience.
Okay, so I think Nikhil is having one question, that which type of questions will be asked in telephonic round. So Nikhil, actually, in telephonic round, basically they are going like the very first question will be, tell me something about yourself. So you have to introduce yourself, and the second thing, like they will tell you something about the the company scenario, like which what kind of work you have to do, and they will ask why you want to do and why you want to join that company. So in telephonic round, they will basically ask two or three things, not that like more than that. They're not going to take like taking your sales interview on telephonic round or something. So they'll just ask about, tell me something about yourself and why you want to do, why you want to join that particular firm. So these will be two questions which will be asked in telephonic round.
Okay, so actually, I have a question. Like I have come across this question a lot of times. Like, if we should prefer CV over resume or resume over CV, like a detailed note of what you are doing on what you have done in scholastics and co-scholastics area. Which one should we prefer, CV or a resume?
So
Should I speak on it?
yeah, sure. Nikhil.
Okay, so based on my knowledge and experience, what actually is CV? CV is your detailed profile about all the things which you have come across your life, and resume is just 1 or 2 page short summary about you. So whenever you are sitting in a placement, I don't think they have time to go through your whole CV. So for that kind of scenario, resume is very important, and you should prepare a resume for that thing. And if anyone wants to add or correct me, then they're mostly welcome to do that.
Yeah, I would like to add, basically resume is generally for the freshers, and CV is generally for the experienced candidates. So I would suggest for a student it should be a resume, right? And second thing I would like to add, definitely resume is your first impression to the company. So you have to focus on your resume first. Fine. So you have to check the all the drafting of the resume, and you have to mention all your achievements during the your academic, and you have to justify each and everything on of the CV, right? Suppose if you have attended any seminar and conference, and if you are not aware about that particular seminar and conference, then there is no use of mentioning that thing in resume, right? So mention all the things in resume which is relevant to you, and you have the knowledge of the same, right? So you have to justify each and everything of resume to recruiters. Recruiters may ask anything about hobbies also. You can ask about your projects also, internships also. So mention all only those things on which you can justify that. Like I've seen a couple of resume, they mention about your strength and weaknesses, and if recruiter asks, they are not able to justify it, right? So be cautious about your resume, prepare it well, right? and uh, most of the companies, they have a different criteria of assessing the students. They have different fields. Like if somebody is taking the interview, so there will be a certain percentage, like 20 or 25% is for the communication, 20-25% is for the subject knowledge, 20-25% maybe for the communication skill. Rest can be, it can be for your attitude or your body language. So depending on the company, they have the different criteria of assessing the student. So you have to be good in all the things. Yeah, you should be good in your subject knowledge also. You should be good in the current affair also. You have to watch your body language, how you are entering into the room, how you are sitting in front of the recruiter. And the very important thing is your introduction, because that creates the first impression on the recruiter. So prepare it well, and I guess these are the major points which you have to look after, even in the telephonic interview also, right? So
Yes, sir.
whether it's a personal interview or it's a telephonic interview, you have to take care of all these points. Anybody else who want to ask anything?
Yes, sir. So we are talking about personality and communication skills. Like these are the things mostly overlooked when we talk about technical jobs. Like how important are personality and good communication skills to get a job?
Definitely, every company has a different hiring pattern. Like TCS, they used to take the test first. So if you are not good in domain knowledge, then you cannot crack the technical test. So it depends on company to company. So you have to, the very first thing is you have to focus on your academics. You have to prepare for all the technical tests, because like in most of the engineering students hiring, the very first thing is the technical test. So you have to be good in that. Then comes the interview, right? So if you are not able to clear the this technical test, then you can if you are having a good communication skills, but still you cannot crack the process, right? So the very first thing is domain knowledge. Definitely you have to work on that, and you have to prepare for the same. And in the mostly in the BTech requirements, the interview and GD comes later. But in the management field, most of the companies, they used to take GD as a preliminary round, and then the interview, right? Anything else?
Yes, there are few more actually. So we all know like the main questions we come across, like tell me about yourself, your strengths and weaknesses. I want to know about the weirdest question you have faced in the interview.
Is it
Weirdest
Willis, sir?
question. Okay. So like every question I have been through, I thought that it was the weird question, but like the weirdest question, I came across was to sell me this. They asked me to sell a glass for 1 lakh rupees, and the thing was that that glass has a crack in it. So I thought that it was a very weird question, and because I was a student of science, so I was able to come up with the idea that what happens due to light, that there is a phenomena known as total internal reflection, and and although reflect and refraction, and due to those things you can use this cracked glass as a showpiece, and you can pass through the light from it during the dark time, and it will illuminate your room. So I thought that it was a very strange question, and it was kind of funny that how I was able to come up with my physics knowledge to answer that question.
Talking about my experience, I have not actually witnessed such kind of weird questions as of now. And actually, I am not even like able to recall the weird question which have been asked, because all the interviews they were asked, I think mostly they will ask the relevant questions according like specific to your domain actually knowledge, right? So
All right. So, what do you think was the X factor in your resume that got you the job?
Like there are, you can say many expectors are there. Like your overall personality defines you actually, right? So where you have invested, because right, like a lot of people says like they'll be judged on just their fourth year only, right? But that is not the fact actually. So the interviewer which are taking your interview, they are much smarter than us, right? So they used to figure out from your first year only, like what you have done in your first year, then second year, then fourth year, then third year, how many intensives you have done, how many seminars and everything, how much like you were aware about the like college events, and how much like interactive you are in like in your session, because they can judge. Like if you ask like to Manish sir, like if any student who is talking to Manish sir, within I think 10 to 15 minutes he'll figure out like what is the level, right? So like first of all you have to increase your level. So talking about my X factor was actually my intensive which I have done in different segments. Actually I was doing a experiments in different segments, because like very first intensive I have did was in food industry. Then there was a platform e-commerce platform, then the clothing industry, then edtech, then IT firm. Approximately, I did four intensive, right? So these all were from different sectors, right? So that like that gave me a very good exposure of different industries, how things are working, and how like we have to deal with the people. So like you will like as I was in sales, so there are the pillars of sales will be same. How to deal with people, it's like mostly you'll be same. The thing will change, that is your pitching, how you are pitching yourself to the interview, to the person who are going to the interview is also a kind of sales process. You have to convince your interviewer that you worth something, and if he will rely on you, he's not going to get robbed or something like. So definitely you are going to contribute something to their firm, which will be very valuable in the upcoming future, right? So simply you have to, you can say, you have to justify your work, what you are, right, and what you have done in the last few years of your BTech curriculum, right? So they are basically like either you can go in tech field, either you can go in non-tech field. So basically for the engineering graduates, like these are the basically two things actually, right? If the one who is not going for the higher studies, so you have to be more specific, more you can say depth knowledge about your domain knowledge. So that is very important. I think that is the also contribute to the X factor as well.
I would like to add one thing because it depends on the company to company and the kind of profile the company is offering. So the X factor can be you cannot prepare one resume for all the companies. So according to the job profile and the company, you have to brush up your CV, right? So X factor, it can be your internship also, it can be a workshop of seminar also, or it can be anything. So you have to review your CV before applying in any company or for any profile. First go through the profile first and the company first, what exactly they are looking forward. Like suppose if the company need a person who is good in team leading role, so definitely you have to show something in CV which reflect this particular quality, right? So I would advise you or suggest all the students, initially they have to go through the company and the profile first, and according to it you have to prepare your resume. You cannot prepare one resume and apply in each and every company. The X factor can be different from one company to another, right? So you have to highlight the points according to the profile offered by the company.
Uh, how much honesty and transparency is expected in an interview from the candidate?
So talking about transparency and honesty, that is the very basic point actually. You have to be honest with your resume, right? If like there are many people who have not done very good things in their BTech curriculum, and right now they got serious about the placement and everything. So first of all, I just want to suggest them to generate some skill, because if you are mentioning a lot of things in your CV or resume, right? So that is going to be caught if you are mentioning them wrong, right? Because the interviewer definitely will ask each and every point, because resume is approx like one page of like paper, like it's a piece of, like, one piece of paper actually. So definitely they will go through your resume and they will ask questions, and they know, like, they are having experience of, talking to many people or many students, right? So they used to encounter, like, like those very genuine, like regarding to their, like, the things they have mentioned in their resume. And there are many people who have not, like, बहुत सी चीजें जो होती हैं वो बच्चे जानते नहीं हैं, right? But they used to mention in their resume. So avoid mentioning those things which you are not good at, right? Because if they'll ask, definitely you're going to reject, right? So कोई मतलब नहीं है उसको उसमें ना resume में रखने का. So it's much better to generate some skill set, like as Manish sir said, according to the firm. And that is very important. Like, so first of all, you can generate a lot of, like, right now, like certificate programs are going on in free itself. So you can generate many certificates and you can show them that you are serious now and you are having that ability to work for your firm and generate some good results for the firm. So transparency, honesty is a must thing according to me.
How much apart from the college curriculum did you have to prepare yourself to get the job and to prepare yourself to the interview level?
Okay, so I think, as I said earlier, I didn't prepare specifically for the placement, but as I said, that during my whole college life, like starting from my freshman years, I was always engaged in many activities and many competitions and many things, and which was enhancing my skills, passively. So I was not aware of it, but it was passively enhancing many things inside me. But it should not be the case for you. It was specifically for the case for me. It could be different for you. Main thing is that you have to do something which enhance something inside of you, and for that you have continuously be engaged in something which can be fruitful to you. So for me it was taking part in many competitions and taking part in many events, and for me it was this. For you it could be anything other than that, like going for many internships and all those things. It can be beneficial for you also. So you have to figure it out, that what it is that is going to be very beneficial for you. And for that, as I said earlier, the aim should be very clear, that I want to achieve this and this thing. So that is why I have to improve so and so skills, and in order to improve those skills, I have to do these activities so that I can enhance good things inside of me, and I can be prepared better for that. So that's it from my side.
There is actually a very important question. I would say there are a lot of people who go and learn different languages, or say technical knowledge they gain out of the domain, which is not taught in the college. Let's say, like, college cannot teach you everything after all. So is it compulsory for the students to get the certification program, or the knowledge is just enough?
uh, I have a friend who has recently dropped out from BITS Pilani, and he was the person who was learning all the things from outside of his college. And right now he is doing his internship from a institute in Europe, and he is going to get placed there also. So what because of his experience, and I also have another friend who also dropped out from the college. So what they were doing, that rather than focusing just on college, they were learning many good skills outside of the university. Now, talking about the certification, it totally depends on what kind of level you want to work. So for someone who just want to go for data analysis or business analysis, for which not very much of algorithmic knowledge is required and basic level of programming is required, then for certification for that is very good. But let's say if you want to go in a very high field, like my friend is in the field of deep neural networks and all those things. So for initial, he was only gaining knowledge from the YouTube. And after that, when he thought that he can do major courses from online platform, then he paid for those courses and got the certification. On top of that, not only certification is required, because you can get certificate from any place. You can see that lot of workshops and lot of training places took place everywhere all the time. So it is not that certificate which is valuable, but it is your project which you have built based on your knowledge. So first thing is that if you have to go, you have to choose between knowledge and the certificate. Knowledge should be your priority, and certificate is good, but you can prove your knowledge based on your work and your project. So I think your project is the most important thing which will demonstrate your skills in it.
I would
So
like to
Manish
add,
sir,
yeah, definitely.
yes, yes,
I
sir.
would
I
like to
wanted to
add on
know
this.
your opinion about this.
So currently, most of the companies, they have very specific requirements, right? If we talk about the technical jobs, so the companies have very specific requirements. So definitely, if you are doing anything beyond your this curriculum, and if you are enriching your profile by this short-term courses, so definitely it will help you. Because suppose if for one job around 50 candidates are applying, so you have to make identification of your own by doing such courses. So definitely, I would suggest if you want to pursue some additional courses, then you have all the students they have to pursue for it. But definitely, certification does not give you a job. The knowledge is most important, right? If you got the certificate, but if you don't have knowledge, then it's a purely a wastage. So knowledge is more important. So if you are getting knowledge out of it, then definitely go for it. Anything else? Abhishek would like to add something. Abhishek?
I think, sir, most, yeah, yes, sir. So I just want to conclude one more question from Govardhan Reddy. I think he is asking as a management graduate, which is skills to be updated in post, like, So first of all,
Abhishek, I think
like
you're going
in
ahead
this
of me.
role, yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
So basically,
Just complete.
okay, I'll take only one answer. So
Yeah.
in which, like, suppose if you are from tech background or you're from non-tech background, right? So like Chitish said, you have to define your mentor, right? So simply, what I used to do, just simply go to LinkedIn, right? Find a similar profile to you, right? And then visit the whole profile. You will see skill set which that person has learned, right? And try to copy that things. If you will visit 10 to 15 profiles, you will get the skills which you have to update, right? So that is a simple answer for that.
So, Chitij, your concluding remarks, your message to the students. You are mute. You are mute.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
sir. So I would like to conclude by saying that first of all, you should have an aim. You should be an ambitious person, because without aim, there will not be any driving force in you. Second, you have to be extremely hardworking, because without hard work, you cannot achieve good things. And hard work comes, no pain, no gain. So you have to sacrifice many things for that, and you have to, boycott many bad habits for that. So you have to be you have to be extremely hardworking person, and good mentor is very much required. So go to your faculty members or any other person whom you consider a mentor, and ask them time to time that what should you do and what you should not do. Best thing is that in FITech we have mentors associated to all the students. So whenever we have any doubt, we can go to them, and we can ask things to them. So it's very beneficial. So I think having a good mentor is also very necessary. So that's it from my side, sir.
Maniji, your concluding remarks.
I guess Kshitij has covered everything. So I will conclude with this that definitely you should have a career objective where you want to make your career, what kind of profile you are looking for, what kind of industry you are looking for. You should have clarity in that. According to it, you have to prepare yourself because the expectations are high. And due to the COVID, definitely the number of jobs might get reduced and you have to face very tough competition. Fine. So you have to work on your academics, you have to work on your communication, you have to work on your current affairs, body language, everything, right? So this will, this is how I will conclude on this.
So we are really thankful to all of you. I hope, Vignesh, you have enjoyed the session. However, there were some technical difficulties, but at last things went smoothly.
Definitely, sir. I loved
So
this session. We had some network issues on my
it
end,
was
so
it was
I
really a
wasn't able
wonderful
to.
session. I hope people have enjoyed a lot out of this session. So Kshitij, Abhishek, Manishji, Vignesh, thank you very much. Now we are signing off. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.